All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Apologize for the delay there, but wanted to just kind of go over with you guys a little bit about Zillow and kind of the importance of it. And we'll kind of walk through what it looks like uh, to actually utilize Zillow from a lead generation standpoint, as well as from a consumer standpoint, and kind of what the consumer is looking at. So, can everybody see? Can everybody see my screen? Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Let's do slideshow. All right, so Zillow is by far the most trafficked real estate website that is in the entire world. A lot of people are going to Zillow every single day to look for homes, and so it is super important for us as real estate agents to make sure that we utilize the free tools that are there, and then the tools that potentially could enhance your business. And the very first thing I really want to talk about is the I guess the presence of creating a Zillow presence. So it's super important to make sure that your profile in Zillow is up to date, is complete, and that you've got everything that you need. So when a consumer comes in, they're not searching and clicking on somebody else. Most people that get on Zillow think that you can't get anywhere without actually spending money on Zillow. And we actually found that yes, does if you do buy leads with them, it does make a big difference in conversion and how many leads you get. But you can also be a top agent on Zillow and not ever have to spend a dime with them. And actually, some of their top agents don't spend any money. They have gone through creating a brand on Zillow and really building out what that looks like. So we'll kind of walk through on building out a competitive brand and building out a competitive profile. So 4 out of every 5 homes that have been viewed in the U.S. or have been viewed on Zillow. So if you think about that, I mean that's 80% of the homes are looked at on Zillow one time or another. 45% of those people actually that are on Zillow, in the past 12 months or so, are going to buy or sell in the next 12 months. So it is a long-term investment that you'd be making. It is a long-term, I guess, growth process, but it is a very good way to get free leads. It is a very good way to get your brand out there. As technology progresses and everything, Zillow also is progressing with their algorithms. So Zillow is constantly changing the way that they do things. But one of the biggest things that Zillow looks at and the consumer looks at is your profile. So we're going to kind of walk through what a profile should look like. And there's a couple things that that Zillow recommends, and they call it their sharp model. So we're going to walk through that, and if you guys have questions on it afterwards, we can kind of talk about it. But the biggest thing is making sure that all of these things fall into place. So your past sales, anytime you have a sale, you need to be recording it in Zillow. You need to have a professional headshot. So making sure that you're professional in your appearance on Zillow, that you come across as a professional. Advertising in markets, under your Zillow profile, you're able to go in and click what markets you want, what areas you work in. You need to be putting every single zip code that you work in your profile. Um, Outside of sales, reviews are probably the biggest thing that is going to make the largest impact on your business. Nowadays, people look at reviews more than ever before. People are looking at reviews on Amazon. They're reviewing restaurants on Yelp. They're reviewing all these different places, but they're also wanting to know who the real estate agent they're working with is. So your reviews are super important. Little kind of side note on the reviews. If you are not a premier agent with Zillow, so if you don't pay Zillow um, money every single month, you're not going to show up on listings unless you have at least 5 reviews. So the key, whether you are a premier agent or whether you're an individual agent, the key there is to have 5 reviews at least. So if you've worked with 5 people, if you've got 5 friends, that can give you reviews, they are verified reviews. So it would have to be people that you've worked with. So they actually do follow up with them and they do communicate with them. So you just can't have your mom and your dad and everybody give you a review. So the reviews is really important. And then building out a professional bio, spending some time, putting some thought into it, and really looking at what that looks like. So we'll kind of walk through this real quick. So the sales demonstrate your expertise in the market. So a consumer wants to know who they're working with, when they're working with somebody, and they use this in their reviews probably more than anything. One thing that we've focused on with the last couple of years is making sure that we have a lot of reviews, making sure that our team has a lot of past sales and reviews that are in there and recorded. And you really do get a lot more leads that way. People are seeing your profile standing out. So making sure that is up to date. Your headshot, again, making sure that you have a professional headshot. Some of the new phones now take better headshots than some of the cameras. So there's no excuse not to have a good headshot there. Reviews, again, have the largest impact on your profile effectiveness. And consumers want to work with a professional, so they want to know that other people enjoyed working with you. Zillow actually has a template that you can utilize that is designed to build out your professional bio. It helps you walk through, if you don't know what to put in there, it walks you through. Put a link here as well to that so you guys can kind of look at that. The next step is, once you create your profile, you're going to want to download the Premier Agent app. Even if you're not a Premier Agent, does not matter. You still want to have that app. The biggest reason is Zillow in their algorithm looks at, if leads are coming to you, are you utilizing the app? And there's a lot of different features the app can be utilized for. One of the biggest we'll talk about here in a little while, but it's video, and using the app to upload video to manage your listings on Zillow. And you can actually do walkthrough videos as well with that. So we'll kind of walk through that. But this is a link to get that app. So you want to make sure, whether you're a new agent, experienced agent, build out that profile, get your app, and start using it. So here's something that I actually took off of Zillow that talks about the 12 reasons to use the app. Why did they create it? Why do they want you to use it? And the first one is, everybody knows that a lead that comes in, the quicker you get to it, the faster you get to it, the faster you're gonna, or the better off you're gonna have a conversion with that lead. So key is speed. So make sure that you're getting those leads. A lot of times, if you just connect that. If you connect your Zillow profile to your website, it goes to your website, the lead goes to your website, and then a few minutes later, you'll get a notification. Whereas if you have the Premier Agent app, it's going to send you an automatic notification alerting you of the new consumer that's been looking at it. And really, you're not going to miss those opportunities. With Zillow, it is a speed thing as well. You need to be in touch with these people within the first 3 to 5 minutes of them coming on and inquiring, about a listing that you have or an additional listing within Zillow. And really, when they're looking on Zillow, they don't know a lot of the times who the listing agent is. So they may call you on another property thinking that you're the listing agent just because you got a better profile. So make sure that when you set your app up, set those push notifications up as well, and then you can stay connected long after you go home. So most real estate agents, they don't turn off their devices, but the app itself has a autoresponder feature that it can start communicating for you. You can set it up to where it will send text messages out or it will send responses out to begin to converse with that person. And then when you get up the next day, you're able to just pick up from where that left off. With the autoresponder, though, you definitely want to keep it short, sweet, to the point. You don't have to have long sentences. It's just really short. Hey, thanks for reaching out on Zillow. When can we talk in the morning? Is 9 a.m. work or something of that nature. So utilizing that is really important. The other thing is instead of having to go log into multiple MLSs to find property information, a lot of times you can go in to Zillow, find it really fast if you're on the phone with somebody, and the app will allow you to do that. It will also allow you to have all the information of the person you're talking to. So you'll have the consumer's information. It'll have the history of the homes that they're looking at, their time frame, and it allows you to build that rapport with that person. So building a rapport, especially on Zillow, is really important. Most of the people that are on Zillow aren't necessarily going to be buying immediately, so you definitely want to be that agent that's going to stay in touch with them, be that agent that reaches out to them immediately. And you can also, categorize your leads. You'll be able to go in, you'll be able to see what the status of your leads are, where they are in the process. It is a full CRM, so it is not just a back end where they throw a bunch of data in there. It's a contact management system that you can actually use. There's actually a website as well that you can create if you want to, that can really help out. As if you have a team and you are a team lead, or if you want to have a team, there are ways to broadcast to multiple team members at the same time, so that they all get the leads, and then you can have your agents working those leads from there. They pull the leads, the lead sources, so to say, from other sites as well. So you've got Trulia, you've got other sites that Zillow owns. What this does is it allows you to start communicating through Zillow, but it also comes as if it comes from your Gmail or your email. So it allows you to be able to connect with other third-party sites. You can update your profile, on the go. You don't have to have it where you're in front of a computer. If you need to change your headshot, if you need to change your bio, if you wanted to add a video, if you're out at a listing, you want to add a video, you can do that. It's really easy. We'll kind of walk through some of that stuff here in a little while, but and then again, you can easily manage your online presence, making sure that your listing information is correct. And I suggest everybody to check that, just because there is times that those third party sites are getting information pulled into Zillow, and you're going to have information that's not right. Square footage may not be right, bedrooms may not be right. I saw one this morning. I was looking at some homes this morning, and saw a brand new home that said it was built in like 1924. Just because of the time, just because of the area that it's in, it was picking up on a different year of a home that was in that area. So um, one way to really utilize the Premiere app, is using the video. So Zillow has walkthrough tours. You pretty much walk through. It shows you what rooms. You pick a room. You can do a walkthrough tour. They do now have the 3D tours, which is really cool. You just stand there. It tells you where to move the camera, if you're moving it fast enough, if you're not moving it fast enough, and then it puts it all together and uploads it to your listing automatically when it goes live. So using that video in today's time is super important. Again, going back to the algorithm side of it, Zillow uses these videos and pushes them to the top when it comes to their algorithm. Um, so my suggestion is test it out on your own home, test it out on another home, but utilize this as a way to get your listings up to the top. Um, Most buyers nowadays would rather look at a video than they would at photos. So making sure that you are using that. Number 10, add your recent sales during your downtime. Again, outside of the reviews, the sales is super important. So every time that you have a sale, whether it's buy side, listing side, go in on your app, takes just a few minutes. All you do is you record the date that you closed it, and the sales price. A lot of times now, Zillow will already have that information. So if they already have it, all you're doing is confirming it. Once you get done with the transaction, it's a great time to get a review. Um, a lot of times people will do it, weeks after their transaction. The best time to do it is actually, the day of closing or a couple of days, either before or a couple of days after. A lot of times the day of closing can be a little hectic. So maybe waiting, a day or so after, give them a call, seeing how they're settling, seeing how the move went, and then sending over the review request straight from Zillow. Like when they do the request, now they have to do it on their computer, on their phone. They can't do it at the closing on your computer because it is related to the IP address for that person. It'll take a few days to show up in your system. The reason is they're actually verifying, Zillow is verifying that that side of things. So they want to make sure it is an actual verified review, instead of somebody just coming on and saying, hey, this guy, didn't do what he was supposed to, just because you made somebody mad and you don't even know who they are. There's a lot of other review sites that somebody can do that. If you had a bad experience with the person, or if they were rude to you or something, and you said, hey, I don't want to work with you anymore, they're going to come and give you a bad review. With Zillow, it has to be somebody that you sold a house to. So if you haven't sold a house, then you're not going to be able to click to confirm that. The next thing that they have is an enormous amount of tools on that Premier Agent app that will allow you to really learn scripts, to learn how best practices are, and it will also keep you up to date on the newest things in the real estate technology. I will say, I kind of go to say that if Zillow's doing something, pretty much everybody else will be doing it, or they're going to be doing it at some point. So, staying up to date on what Zillow's doing, what are the new things that are coming up. There's videos that you can do on there. There's training courses that you can do on there. There's articles that they put out all the time. So making sure that you're involved in that whole process. And this is just kind of a overview of that mobile app and what it looks like. Those resources, that resource center is really important to look at. So if you're interested in looking at that, or if you want to go over the app a little bit more, we can definitely do that. One thing that I just want to kind of give, a future preview of is Zillow is moving more towards the reviews. They're moving more towards how well are you working with clients. So if you have interest in becoming a premier agent, one thing you're going to want to make sure of is that you have very good communication with your clients, and you're following up with them, and you're staying in touch with them constantly. Zillow now is actually reaching out to the client after a lead is transferred. And once that lead is transferred, Zillow's calling them. How are things going? And Zillow is getting to the point where they have roughly about 30,000 real estate agents that are premier agents. And then, all the other agents that aren't premier agents. What they're getting to with their premier agents is the agents that are their top agents. They're going to end up keeping them, and then they're going to be starting to slowly fade off these other agents that aren't successful, that don't have Zillow profiles built out, that don't convert their leads, that don't communicate with their clients, because Zillow just wants to work with the best agents. So I want to make sure that our agents have what they need, and when it comes to building out the profile. I want to make sure that if you have any questions on Zillow, we can sit down, we can walk through what that looks like, we can hop on a call. But utilize Zillow. There's a lot of tools that are on there that's free. There's another website that is related to Zillow that is more designed for a younger millennial type generation, that's called realestate.com. So Zillow actually owns realestate.com. They own Trulia. They own Zillow. But the realestate.com actually will give you and break down different price points for you for the home. And it will tell you, what estimated utilities are, what are the different things. All of that flows back to you having a profile, though, on Zillow, on Trulia, and on the realestate.com. So if you have it on Zillow, make sure you're doing it on Trulia as well, because you want everything to kind of flow the same. But Zillow obviously is the one to go to. My suggestion is start thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like your client thinks. Get on Zillow, look around, kind of see what they're looking at, and then obviously download the Premier Agent app. And make sure that you guys, if you have questions, either go to that resource page or give us a call. We'll definitely walk you through that process. So just wanted to kind of touch base a little bit about Zillow today. I'm sure you guys may have some questions. If you have anything, pop it in the chat. I can kind of answer those questions, or if you want to, if you want to unmute yourself, we can talk for a minute. And then if you have any questions after that, shoot me an email. It's Dustin@DustinKennedyGroup.com, or give me a call, 864-761-0380. Appreciate you guys coming on, and I look forward to helping you guys build out your Zillow. And let me know if you guys have any questions.